So hi, I'm Quinn and this is Open Awareness Yoga. Today is gentle yoga and we'll be working on twisting. Really super gentle stuff. We're not using much force, if any at all, during class. So get ready to just tune in, relax, and feel good in your body. You'll need a few props. So a block or a stack of hardback books, a blanket or a bath towel. This will be a pillow, so you might also use a really small pillow, and a firm big pillow, a bolster, or maybe a rolled up blanket or something like this, okay? And you'll start in Shavasana, so lying on your back, and as long as it's comfortable for your body, you'll have your legs extended long, so straight at the knee. Bring the arms down along the sides of the body and make sure nothing is bumping into you as best you can in the space that you're practicing in today. Close your eyes and follow an inhale breath into your body. Continue to breathe in and out, beginning to drop in. So coming into your body, your experience in this moment, even if it's still talking to you, backing away slowly from your mind, your thoughts, and turning your awareness to your body, to your feelings and sensations. And one way you might do that is by becoming aware of the body on the earth, becoming aware of the earth rising up beneath you, supporting your body. And as we get started, I want to express some gratitude to a teacher of mine, Lisa Peterson. Her yoga is called Living Yoga. She's out of Ireland, and I've learned a lot of this stuff from her videos. So feel for the negative space along the backside of your body. That is the space that's not touching the earth. You might notice some at your low back and at your neck, the backs of your ankles. And of course, this negative space, when combined, defines the curves of your backside body as well. Can you get a sense for the curves of your body on the earth? And then notice any differences from right to left. Most of us are twisted and asymmetrical. After all, we don't have symmetrical organs on the inside, even if our bones were put together just straight. Notice your shoulder blades, where you feel the bones of your shoulder blades. Notice your ribs, which ribs are touching the earth. And slowly bend up your legs. So you'll place the feet flat on the floor. Then bring the heels far enough away from the buttocks so that your legs feel comfortable, like two playing cards stacked against one another, making a triangle shape on the coffee table. So the heels aren't too close, nor are they too far away from the buttocks. And you can play around with this. Still breathing, calming down, or maybe not yet, and that's okay too. Notice your low back. Is it curving up and away from the floor or not? We'll start with pelvic tilting. As you exhale, you'll flatten your low back flat into the ground, so the skin will touch the earth. And as you inhale, you'll roll the pelvis forward, lifting the low back and bringing your tailbone between your heels. Exhale to rock backwards, flattening the low back. Inhale to release, and if it's comfortable, arch. Continue with your breath. Slow down the movement so that you can really tune in and get a feel for the journey in your arch and flatten here. Notice if the movement of the rock of your pelvis is jittery or bumpy. Maybe slow down a little more around the areas where you feel a break and create smoothness. Stepping away from how you should be doing this and just letting the body find its sense of balance, equanimity, homeostasis. It's the process of getting out of your own way rather than doing something right. Kind of let it happen. Just a few more. And come back to a neutral place. Whatever feels like neutral to you. Pull your right knee into your chest and interlace your fingers over your right knee. We'll do the same thing here. As you inhale, you move the knee away from the chest and find the arch in your low back. And as you exhale, pull the knee in and flatten your low back down. Minimal effort here, just enough that's required to move you and not any more than that. Try to move with the breath and slow everything down, especially if you have a tendency to rush or to move very quickly. Why not practice slowness, which can be just the balance one might need. Notice the way the leg and the low back work together. Just a few more rounds. Relax your ankle. And the next time you pull your knee into your chest, hold it there. Lift your left toes off the ground, the heel's still on the ground, and very slowly slide the left leg long. Notice if the leg has pulled on your low back at all. And then close your eyes and bring your breath to the top of the left thigh. As you inhale, imagine that your breath travels down from the low spine, down the inner leg to the inner foot. And as you inhale, just keep the sensation of that same downward movement. So your breath is streaming down the left leg with a special focus on relaxing, softening, and letting go, especially through the inner left leg, across the top of the hip. How much more can you release that left leg? As the muscles release their grip. And breathe. And we'll return both of the feet to the floor where we started, in this active rest position. Pull your left knee into your chest, interlace the fingers over the knee, and we'll do the pelvic tilting. As you exhale, flatten the low back, pull the knee into the chest. As you inhale, let the knee move away from the chest and arch your low back. Minimize the energy that you're using to do this. Just the bare minimum. We move away from giving 110%. Who has more than 100%? That makes no sense. And in this practice, we move towards, I don't know, 40%. Seeing just how little you can work and still do the exercise. And the next time you pull the left knee into the chest, keep it there. Keep the right heel down on the ground, lift the toes up, and slide the right leg slowly long. Notice if the low right side back has lifted off the ground because of the pull of the leg. Maybe it hasn't, maybe it has. And then totally let that right leg go. Once more, streaming your breath down the leg, from the low back, over the top of the hips, and especially down the inner top thigh, down to the inner foot. And this process of relaxing takes time. Most people need to practice a very gradual letting go and releasing. And with practice, it becomes easier and more simple. A few more breaths. Let's place both of the feet back on the floor. Very slowly roll to one side. And press your hands down into the ground to sit up. Find your blanket or small pillow and place it at the head end of your mat. You'll come to lie on one side. It doesn't matter which. With your head on the blanket or pillow, the back of your head and your hips aligned, knees directly in front of the hips and the feet straight down from the knees. Now, if you're using a blanket, have a tail of the blanket behind you. We'll be rolling backwards. And on that same note, if you're close to something behind you, you might want to adjust so that you've got an arm span behind you. So just to start, lie on the side, close your eyes, and get a feel for what it feels like. And if you're uncomfortable in the legs, you can place some padding between the knees, between the thighs. Now here, bring your top hand to stack on top of the bottom hand, so the palms touch. Doesn't really matter if they're lined up. As you inhale, you'll keep the top palm down. You'll slide it forward of the bottom palm, reaching the shoulder forward. And as you exhale, you slide the palm along your arm, elbow bends, and kind of rock up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back to that starting position, sliding the top fingers long. And exhale, slide the hand up the arm, coming a little bit deeper into your twist, but not very far. And we continue. Inhale to slide forward. Exhale to slide back, twist and unwind. And continue. You might notice your rib cage rolling on the ground. Let your head just hang. Know that there isn't a doing this right. It's about feeling. Really minimizing effort and feeling. Make this movement gradually bigger until your top elbow lands on the ground beneath you. And then come back and take your time on this. But when that top elbow does reach the ground behind you, open the arm. And then as we Exhale. You'll bring that arm straight up and over like a big rainbow. And again, reach it forward and straight now. Watch the hand with the head. Open up. And then bring it in a large arc back. Inhale to reach, straight arm moves up and over, head follows. Exhale to come back. Luxuriate in this movement. No area of your body needs to be locked. Nothing needs to be doing anything in particular, except for the few pieces of guidance I've given you. All right. So the next time your palm comes to stack on top of the palm, extend your top leg long behind you. Toes hover off the floor, maybe just touch the floor. Now, as you inhale and you reach the arm up and overhead, pull that top knee into the chest. Exhale, reach the leg long and bring the arm back. Inhale, reach the arm up and over, pull the knee into the chest. Exhale, reach the leg long, arm comes back up and over, stacking palms. One more time. It's okay if this is confusing, especially if it's the first time you've ever done it. Of course it is going to be. And then come back to your starting side lying position. And you'll just roll over onto your other side. So have the tail of your blanket behind you. Back of your head in line with the hips, knees in front of the hips and feet straight down from the knees. Stack the top arm on top of the bottom so the palms touch. As you inhale, reach the top arm forward and exhale, drag that top hand along the arm, elbow bends back. You rock slightly up to the ceiling and then continue, making that twisting action a little bit bigger every time you exhale and rock back. And over the course of your next 3 or 4 of these, let your top elbow get closer and closer to the ground behind you. And whenever that top elbow lands on the ground is when you open up your arm. Now there is no rush. You're going at your own pace. Your inquiry is with your own experience, not with mine or with what you think you should be doing. Whenever you get to elbow on ground, remember you make that big rainbow arc. The exhale closes the palms and the inhale reaches the arm up and over to open the body. Do 2 more of these, or as many as you like, truly. When you're ready, palms come to stack. You extend that top leg long, toes hover above the floor. As you inhale, reach the arm up and overhead, pull the knee into the chest. Exhale, stretch the leg back long, arm comes back to starting position. 3 more of these. And when you're done, roll onto your back and move the pillow or blanket out from underneath your head. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Separate your feet a little wider than hips width distance. Bring the arms out to the side body, palms face up. dropping back in, resting completely. The work that we've been doing so far is in the somatics category. You might notice it's different from yoga. And we'll start blending those two disciplines in a moment. So let's bring the arms a little further away from the side body, maybe out to a T. And feet are wider than hips width distance. Let both of the knees drop to the right and turn to look over the left arm. As you exhale, use the belly to softly bring the knees and head back to center. Inhale, drop the knees to the left, look over to the right. Continue with your breath, exhaling to center, which helps you engage the abdomen, and inhaling to drop to the side. Remember, it's not an over effort through any muscles to do this work. Can you feel a softness in the effort that you do make? Notice the hips flattening and spreading as they roll side to side with the legs. The next time you drop the knees to the right, leave them there. Now, if you have any pain, knee pain, hip pain, anything, I want you to get up and find a prop to slide underneath the left knee and maybe underneath the right thigh. So you can prop yourself up. We'll be here for a while. If this isn't comfortable to you, even with props, then you can find any side twist that does work for you. So maybe stacking the legs or even sliding a blanket or pillow between the knees. But if you are resting here in windshield wiper, you might decide you want a deeper stretch in the left top thigh, hip area, and you toe heel that left foot further behind you to the left. It's just an experiment. Try and then correct. You might keep the nose pointed to the sky. You might let the head drop to the left. Release deep into the hips. Release across the pubic bone and low belly. Soften through the navel. And know that if there's any pain, it's not that something's wrong with you, and it's not that you should continue. If there's any pain, adjust until you're in a position where you feel good. We are in service to our bodies and our spirits, not in a mean headmistress or headmaster kind of way, but in a very benevolent, affectionate way. No harsh judgment of the self or forcing of the self to fit into some mold. If you've toe heeled that left foot further behind you, bring it back to where it started, and everybody feel, on exhale, the strength in your belly. Pull your knees back to center. Just for a minute, straighten both of your legs long. You might slide your arms down closer to the side of the body as we begin. Let everything go. Bend your knees one at a time. Plant the feet. Widen the feet, wider than the hips. Bring the arms back out to a T. And drop the knees over to the left. Now remember, we'll be here for a hold. So if you need those props, get them. Place them underneath your legs as needed, or adjust your position as needed. You don't have to do the same thing on both sides. Sometimes we are better served by treating both sides of the body like, two different kids that need two different things. There's just nothing we can do to force them to be the same. And if you want a deeper stretch in the right thigh, hip area, you might walk that right foot further to the right behind you. And you might also drop the head over to the right, but only if you want. Stay with your breath. Smooth and slow. Even if it's the hardest thing you've ever done. Smooth and slow. So these long holds and poses, it's more in the style of yin yoga. At some point, all of the differentiations just don't matter, but if there's bits and pieces of class you like more than others, these words are hints on how to find more of what you like. Every teacher puts their own spin on it. Every teacher teaches from their own practice and experience. And as you practice, you become your own teacher, forging your own path. If your right foot has been walked behind you, bring it back towards center and use your belly on exhale to bring your knees back to center. One more time, straighten the legs, release the arms down along the side of the body and drop in. Drop everything. Surrender your weight to the earth. Receive the support of the earth. You can take as much time as you need here. If you're ready, bend your knees, bring your feet one at a time to the floor, and pull your knees into your chest one at a time. Hug the knees in, making yourself into a little ball. Let the low back round. Take a few breaths here. And then we'll roll over onto one side, turn down to look at the floor, and use your hands to sit yourself up. If you were here a couple weeks ago, we sat in this pose, Vajrasana, with the knees together, and we're sitting back on the heels. Though this isn't comfortable for everybody. If you need to, you can take a block or a stack of books. Place as much height as you need to underneath your hips so that you feel comfortable, you feel like you can sustain this shape. Now, if it's not working for you, you can always sit up on something and bring the legs in front of you like crisscross applesauce, or even sit in a chair. So we will be doing a number of, a couple twists from this shape. So first, let's bring the hands, palms face down, into the lap, and then scoot the heels of your hands back so they're right at the creases of the hips, right beneath the hip bones. And then just for a moment, press down there and release the legs down to the ground. Feel the front hip points lifting up, and feel the crown of the head lifting up to the sky. Soften your shoulders down. Let the shoulders rest on the ribs. And lengthen your back waist. Feel the length in your spine. Low back grows into mid back, into upper back, into the neck, and the skull lifts and reaches. your eyes are closed, blink them open, and we'll twist to the right. So if you're up pretty high, you might need some more props behind you so that you can touch the floor, or the floor's proxy, the prop. So let's twist to the right, bring the right fingertips down to something behind you. The left hand lightly touches the outer right thigh. And then soften into this twist. Don't make this the deepest twist that you've ever done. Remember, 40% effort. Just enough to twist your spine, but not where you're pulling and using your muscles. I mean, some of them are working for you here, but I don't want you to pull with the hands, and I don't want you to hold like that, any tension. In fact, can you soften the skin of the belly, let it fall a bit over the lap, and then draw just the right side of the navel back as you twist the left side of the navel forward without too much effort. Soften your shoulders. And lean that right shoulder blade back slightly. Breathe. Feel that rotation of your spine from the low back through the mid back to the upper back, and smoothly transition to the neck and the skull. And remember, when you pushed the legs down, can you release the legs down, finding a similar sensation? And if the neck and head hurt, adjust them. Turn them to the left, take them out of the rotation. Just a few more smooth breaths here. And slowly come back to center, hands on the lap. Soften the shoulders, close your eyes, and breathe, sending your breath again down your body into the earth. And just notice the effects of that pose. And you might feel a little lopsided. We'll go to the other side. So nice and easy, twist to your left. Left fingertips on something behind you, right palm on the outer left thigh, wherever it reaches. And then no matter where you went, let it reverse out a little. Like relax and twist back a little to the right. Soften your belly. Let it hang over the hips. And then twisting from the low back, draw the left side of the navel back as you revolve the right side of the navel forward. Feeling the rotation, moving very gradually and gently from low back to mid back to upper back, and smoothly revolving through the neck. Like a corkscrew. Lean the left shoulder blade back slightly so that you're not rounding forward. Just check in to make sure you're not overdoing it in the neck. Breathe smooth. And feel your hip creases soften and release the weight of the legs down. Letting any extra gripping, any extra effort melt away. A few more breaths here. And come back to center. Hands on the lap. Keep your eyes closed and breathe. Quite likely that twisting was different on both sides. All right, blink your eyes open. Just to give the legs a break, you'll come off of that block, Bring the legs out in front of you. Straighten the knees and maybe bounce through the knees a little. If the knees feel sore, rub on the inner and outer knees. You might bend and point the feet, flex and point. So we got a similar shape in knee flexion. Again, if cross-legged is how you need to be, just change the crossing of your legs, okay? Otherwise, we won't be here for long. You'll sit back on your heels and then shift your hips over to the right side of the feet and the feet over to the left side of your body. And then stack your left ankle on top of the arch of the right foot, coming into Vrajasana. Now the hips are a little wonky here. We want this left hip to be falling down towards the floor, probably won't reach the floor, and to get a little bit of lift out of the right side hip. Okay, we'll twist over to the right. Again, bring the right fingertips behind you on something, left hand to the outer right thigh. And soften into this, just as you did on the other side. But now we've got a little bit of interest in the asymmetry we've created in our hips. Can you drop that left hip down? Not trying to force it down, but just releasing it down. And think about the way it felt twisting a moment before in the pose we did before this. And can you feel that gradual corkscrew, minimal effort achieved in this shape on this side, Vrajasana? Even check in with gripping in your hands and in your feet. And you might be noticing by now that twists make burps happen, all kinds of gas as we massage the organs. Just one more breath here, in and out. And twist back to center. You can bring the legs out in front of you and just sweep them around to the other side. This time the right ankle stacks in the arch of the left foot. The right side hip drops down towards the floor, and we twist to the left. Now release that right side hip down so the right side waist lengthens. And enter into your experience, into your body. Become your breath. Soften where you can. One more breath. And twist back to center. And we'll come on to hands and knees. If you need extra padding underneath your knees, use your blanket or your towel. And from here, we'll just step the right foot forward between the hands. Plant the left hand down on the ground at the inner right foot. And as you inhale, lift your right arm up to the sky and twist to look up. If this hurts in the neck, you can look straight ahead or down at your left hand. Lean the upper shoulders or the upper back slightly. And bring your mind to the lower left side of your back. Can you draw the lower left side of your back forward and twist it up to the sky? One more breath in. As you exhale, plant your right hand down and come back into tabletop, hands and knees. We'll stay on this same side. From hands and knees, inhale, lift your right arm up to the sky, look up. Exhale, twist the right arm underneath the left and bring the right side cheek down to the ground.
Curl the left fingertips forward. Stay up onto your fingertips, so a tented hand. Press the fingertips down and forward to get a little bit deeper into the left side body and the right shoulder blade stretching away from the spine. Deep breaths in and out. Hips stay high over the heels. Relax your jaw. This one's called thread the needle. Now we're twisting more through the upper body. Let's bring the left hand underneath the left shoulder and come back up to hands and knees. We'll change sides. Step your left foot forward between the hands. And then you'll plant the right hand down on the ground. Inhale to lift left arm up to the sky, twist and open your chest to the left. Draw the right shoulder blade away from the ears so we support the right shoulder with the alignment of the arm into the shoulder socket. And then lean the shoulders back slightly, the shoulder blades that is. Make your head and neck comfortable. Now back to that lower right side back, there's a sweeping motion of the low back from the buttocks under and up the right side waist, sweeping up past the left top chest, creating a spiral, like a spiral of silk around you. One more breath in. As you exhale, plant your left hand, come back onto hands and knees. Shoulders right over the wrists. Inhale, lift the left arm back up to the sky, and exhale, twist left hand underneath the right, left cheek down to the ground. Crawl your right fingertips forward. Press down into the right fingertips to lengthen the right side body and stretch deeper into the left shoulder blade. And breathe. Right hand comes underneath the right shoulder. Press down to come up into your tabletop pose. Bring the big toes to touch. Separate the knees a little wider than the hips and sink back into a child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead to the earth, palms curl forward. If your forehead doesn't reach the earth, or if your hips don't reach the heels, find a prop, your block or stack of books, whatever's handy. Place your forehead down on that height and see if you can get your hips down to the heels. Lengthen the spine. Soften the belly. Drop back in. From here, we'll crawl forward into Sphinx pose. So on the belly, and then lift it up onto the elbows. Elbows underneath shoulders. Now, if that causes any pain in the low back, walk your elbows further forward to decrease the arch in the spine. So in a moment, we'll hold this for a little bit. First, we'll find some movement a la Somatics. But if your head is usually uncomfortable in your Sphinx, you might want to find a prop, which you'll be placing your head on in a bit. Okay, so that can be handy. And from here, we'll do a little mer person movement. You press down into the left hand and left elbow to bring your weight onto the left side hip and pull your legs like a millimeter over to the right. And then come back to your Sphinx. That's it. We'll go to the left again. So you press down into the left hand, left elbow, rock the hips to the left, and bend both legs over to the right a little, and come back. It's not a very big motion. One more time. Press down. Come into your little mermaid shape.
And come back to center. And we'll do the other side. Press down into the right hand, right elbow, rock onto the right hip, and bring your legs over to the left a bit. And then back onto your belly. Remember, minimal effort here. Do it again. Press. And let that motion move from the right elbow down the right side body to the legs moving to the left. 3 times total. And you'll come back to Sphinx. Find your prop if you're using it underneath your head. And here we are. Soften your buttocks and the backs of the thighs. Allow the low back to compress here. Feel your sacrum moving further into the body. Release your organs so that they fall away from the spine. Check in to see if you're hunching your shoulders and counter that habit by releasing the shoulder blades down the back. If this becomes too much for you, before I invite you out of it, please follow your need. Your practice is meant to serve you, not to hurt you. And it's also meant to teach you the difference. It's also something we get better at, is understanding what's good for us and what's not. It's not something only we can know ultimately. Now very slowly move the prop out from under your head, widen your elbows, and bring one cheek down to the ground to rest. If your head isn't comfortable like this, you might stack your palms and place your head on the back of your hands. Breathe into your low belly. Feel that widen your low back as you inhale. And then again, find that downward flow of breath from the low back down the inner legs. Wiggle your hips side to side. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and press your way up into hands and knees. And we'll come to sit in another shape I think looks a bit like a mermaid. All right, so you'll bring your right foot forward in front of you and the left foot behind you. And this might not be the most comfortable for everybody. If it's not, you might try sliding your blanket underneath you, sitting that right hip up onto it, trying to leave the thigh off of the blanket. Might be some interesting origami folding. And here we'll do some somatics as well, some twisting somatics. So first, just bring that right hand behind you. Bring your left hand to the right shoulder and turn to look behind you. Go slow. Okay, notice where you can see on the wall behind you. And we'll start some movement. So slowly sink your weight into your left hip and rotate your torso to the left. Then press down into the left hip to get a movement, a circular movement, as you twist and look back over your right shoulder. Move slowly here, dropping into that left hip, revolving the torso forward or to the left. And then pushing off from the left hip to twist to the right. Find that corkscrew action as you continue, twisting back and forth. Can you feel the continuous line of energy travel from the force you press into the ground with the left buttocks all the way up through the crown of the head? Adding in the breath, we inhale to twist the torso left, drop into the left hip. Exhale to twist and open to the right. Just a few more times. And the next time you twist to the right, stay there. Turn and look behind you and see if your body opened up any for you. Maybe you got a little more range of motion. And we'll do the second side. So bring the left foot forward, right foot back. Again, readjust the blanket underneath you if you're using that. And then twist to look behind you, twisting to your left. Get a gaze, notice a point behind you to check in with. Now we'll bring that right hand to the left shoulder and drop into the right hip, twist your torso to the right, press out of the right buttocks to turn the torso revolving to the left. Inhaling as you twist the torso right, move into the right side hip. Exhaling as you twist to the left. Maybe even closing your eyes and tuning in to find as smooth as a corkscrew rotation as you can. Remember, it's not about force. It's not about effort. It's about getting out of your own way, letting the energy flow through you. Even just the kinetic energy of that equal and opposite reaction as you twist. And next time you twist backwards, stay, turn and look, see if you got any more range of motion. And it's okay if you didn't. Doesn't mean you did anything wrong. All right, come back and bring both of the legs out in front of you. Bounce through the knees slowly, releasing the backs of the thighs. And then we'll come into Shavasana. And we'll do our supported Shavasana today. So if you've got that bolster, this is where we'll use it. Place it behind you long ways, and then take your blanket or small pillow, will be for your head. Sit right in front of the short edge of the bolster, and then lay back, adjusting the pillow underneath your head and neck. And then lift up your buttocks, shift it towards your heels to lengthen your low back and place it back down on the ground. Now if this, whatever you're laying on, is too much height for you, you don't have to lay on it. You can just come flat down to the floor. Then bring the arms, palms face up, down to a low V. If you're feeling any tenderness in the low back, you'll knock your knees together. Walk your feet wide. If your low back is okay, straighten through your legs. Letting your heels be a little wider than the hips and the toes fall naturally. And as you might be able to see me here, I'm adjusting my hips, my lower body, my upper body so that I feel comfortable here on the props. And tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, walking them underneath you. Close your eyes and drop in. And starting from your heels, together we'll scan your body. Feel the weight of the heels on the ground. Release the heels. Release the muscles of the feet. Everything softens, all of the joints in the feet. Breathe space. Release your ankles. Feel the calves spread. The backs of the knees open. Your hamstrings, that's the back thighs, spread in the earth. Deepen the hip creases. Let's go. It's the full weight of the legs, right leg and left leg, heavy on the earth. Feel your buttocks spread, moving up the spine. Allow the support of the bolster to hold you.
Feel how the arch of the bolster lifts your spine, lifts your rib cage, and holds the back of your heart and lungs. Release your spine, rib cage, and even your heart and lungs down into the support of the bolster. And allow the muscles along the chest to melt. Remove the hold on your bones. And feel the weight of your shoulders and upper arms rolling out towards the ground. And feel the connection of your lower arms and the backs of your hands into earth. And can you feel down to the first knuckle of the fingers? The knuckle that it's hard to get a ring over sometimes. Can you feel that portion of your finger on the earth? Invite the muscles in the palms of your hands to release and melt. And tracing a line back up your arms into your shoulders. Follow that line into your neck. And relax the vertebra of the neck, the muscles of the throat. And feel the weight of your head very heavy, melting into the earth. Relax your jaw and let the lower jaw recede down towards the back skull. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Feel it become broad and soft. Cheeks cave in. Eyeballs drop down deeper into the head. Feel the wrinkle between your eyebrows melt away. The forehead soften. Your temples melt into your hairline. Feel every hair. Just for a minute, let everything go. Shavasana. And just for the sake of comparison, let's lay flat on our back on the floor one last time to compare it to the beginning of class. So very slowly move your limbs. In your own time, bring the soles of your feet to the floor. Be careful. Roll off your bolster to the side and then move it out from underneath you as you come to lying flat on your back. Legs long, arms to the side of the body, just as we began. Dropping in, which may be easier now.
Feel the negative space along the backside body. Then allow the negative space to seep together and define the curves of your body and your imprint on the earth. Notice right side and left side. Notice shoulder blades. Yes. You can stay here as long as you like, or again, very slowly roll onto one side and look down at the floor to sit yourself up. And find any comfortable seat if you'd like to close practice with me today. Bring your hands to your heart, soften your shoulders down. Relax your hip creases. Inhale through the nose, lifting your heart, and as you exhale, bow your chin to your chest. In this moment, I honor you and gratitude to your practice for the time you've spent on yourself, which sure enough serves the world. To the teachers and students for me. And to the practice itself. Thank you.